One family was turning green when they went to meet the evil queen. It turns out things were not exactly as they anticipated at Walt Disney World. Another chance for woke going completely into a joke. At least that's how they felt. We'll tell you why. After spending $300, they did not feel that they had a good time. Hello folks, welcome back to the Pro Channel, where we believe in being kind to everyone. And at the same time, we believe in telling the truth, being transparent, and that is what we are calling for today. It appears that the protocols for Disney casting individuals into roles, well, it's been changed, it's been altered, and after this video, you might just understand why. We're talking about an evil queen here, but perhaps far more. At Walt Disney World Resort, a family went, and they were expecting to have quite the experience with characters at a character dining moment. However, in a moment, all of that changed when one of the characters was, well, very different than they had anticipated. We're not here to tell you whether it's right or wrong. We simply want you to know what's going on at Disney parks. Get ready for a bibbidi-bobbidi boutique kind of experience. Let's bring on the panel.
From that park place, some obscure author who doesn't release much these days on the website. But here we are. An unexpected evil queen. Disney World appears to allow biological men to play female characters.
Sorry, Jonas. That's my fault. There you
go. This by Jonas J. Campbell, and also contributions from WDW Pro. Look at that right there. That's a face right there. A family attending an expensive dinner at Disney's Wilderness Lodge at Walt Disney World Resort had a character experience they were not expecting. According to the father, they complained after the evil queen was not what they anticipated. In 2023, the Walt Disney Company faced criticism from conservatives and some moderates from photos and videos when photos and videos surfaced of a biological male cast member wearing a dress while working as fairy godmother in training at the Bibbidi Bobbidi Boutique, Princess Boutique for little girls at the Magic Kingdom. This biological male had facial hair and makeup, but there was never any clarification as to presented gender identity. For many families, the cast member's stated gender identity would not have mattered much. Video of the mustached biological male in a dress leading small girls into a salon has resurfaced, often by families critical of Disney's reimagining of traditional values. Of course, for others of a different mindset, there was nothing wrong with this at all, and the internet reaction was either intolerant or inappropriate. Pro, am I okay to play this clip?
Play the clip.
So my name's Nick. I want to carry on Melissa.
There's Nick.
I'm here to shop you around and make all your selections for the day.
Those are some expensive dresses right there.
Yes.
And
yes,
there was another moment about that story where I don't know if it was that guy or another guy came out and as a barker trying to bring people into the store said to some little girl walking by, "Don't you want to look pretty like me?" And she said, "No," and ran off to her father. I don't want to look like you. And, you know, how many people didn't even remark on it, but said, not going back to that place anymore. Thank you very much.
It's a fair point.
And it's not like you can avoid that, because it's literally as you go through the castle gates and into the inner courtyard there of the castle. So it's a highly prominent spot.
Well, at least, oh, you're talking about Disneyland, right? Because I was going to say, okay, because I was going to say Disney World, it used to be in the castle, but then they moved it to the, what was formerly the Princess gift shop
or whatever.
Yeah, exactly. Okay. I was not happy to see my Cinderella, make it blue, make it pink dress that would shift colors. That was gone. So now that's where the Bibbidi Bobbidi.
And make it lame and make it, oh, never mind.
Yes.
Yep. All right. That park place has received an account of a character meal at Storybook Dining at Artist Point with corroborating video that indicates Walt Disney World Resort may have gone a bit farther in the march towards progress. It was everything in me not to put quotes there. At the Bibbidi Bobbidi Boutique, the cast member wearing a dress and sporting a mustache at the Fantasyland entrance of an experience that transforms little girls into princesses was just a regular cast member. According to newly acquired video and witnesses, it would appear that Orlando's Walt Disney World has a biological male playing the part of an iconic female character in full facial appearance and makeup. Well, the gender of some of Disney's iconic character mascots performers is irrelevant to guests who cannot see behind cumbersome character masks. This appears to be the first time a biological male has been seen interacting directly with guests while performing as a Disney female face character, with their face, stature, and voice revealed to guests. For one family that experienced the awkward meet and greet, this was not what they bargained for.
According to insert here, Jonas, that we're fully aware that women traditionally play Donald Duck and Mickey Mouse because of height requirements. That's not what is being alleged in this article, that's a change. What's being alleged is that people aren't, well, let's put it this way. When you go meet Alice in Wonderland, you're not anticipating hearing a man's voice come out of Alice. Just
right. I do
that's
believe,
what we're saying. It may have changed.
LW Ghost said it best. We're not expecting Al in Wonderland.
There you go.
All right. According to the father who reached down to that Park Place reporters, the Evil Queen, antagonist of the first Walt Disney animated feature, appeared to be played by a biological male at Artist Point in Disney's Wilderness Lodge. Storybook dining at Artist Point is listed by the Walt Disney World website as a premium character dining experience, with adults expecting to pay $60 per meal. That is on the higher end of prices for the resort. While this, according to the father, while we were waiting for the desserts to come up, we received our invitation
Jonas,
to meet.
Jonas, you're pulling up the exclusive image. Nobody has seen this before unless they've read the article. This is exclusive, and it's a picture of that family. Continue reading, please.
Yes, to meet the Evil Queen, which we were really looking forward to. Keep in mind, we've had other meet and greets with other villains, and they are truly the best character experiences that we've ever had. So we had high hopes for the Evil Queen leading up. So we all walked over towards the Evil Queen area while my kids and wife were interacting with the character. I was doing some video and took a few pictures from about 10 feet away, then handed my iPhone over to the cast member to take some pics for me so I could get in the picture. It was kind of loud inside, so I couldn't really hear what the character was saying until I got face to face, typical conversation distance of a few feet, and then it hit me that the Evil Queen was without a doubt had a man's voice.
Now, we've obscured the images of the family, but we can tell you that the family is of normal height, and this is what was so strange, and what there's a way to pull this off, I think, maybe, if you're Disney, and it be unknown, right? There are some men, I mean, think of the Bee Gees, right? You can hit a woman's tone.
A falsetto.
But when you are playing the Evil Queen, I don't think the Evil Queen was ever expected to play in the NBA. The Evil Queen towered over this family.
Right. There's
no platform here.
We know their height, and they're of average global height. You can go look up what that is. And this person right here appears to be several inches taller than the husband in this family.
I mean, you can imagine how much taller they would be if they were standing shoulder to shoulder. And again, we asked, we attempted to confirm, and we went to additional videos of this area to look. We don't believe there's any platform. We don't think there's any, I mean, so this is, it's just Disney is supposed to have their characters match certain criteria. I don't think that Evil Queen is supposed to be playing for the Harlem Globetrotters.
No, and when you go to these meet and greets, for example, over at Cinderella's Royal Table, and you get your picture taken with Cinderella before you go upstairs for your meal, these characters are not standing on a platform. Because when the little girls and little boys want to come up and hug Cinderella, Cinderella doesn't need to come down off a platform to hug them. I have never seen a platform used ever in all my years of going to Disney World and, bringing kids to go meet the princesses. They've never stood on a platform, and they've never been, like you say, NBA tall. No.
Could I go on the record, however, saying she can't act and her boobs aren't that big? So I don't know what the big deal is all about.
Continuing on, according to the father, he stands at average height, but was towered over by the person playing the Evil Queen, as can be seen in the photo. He confirmed that the Evil Queen character was not standing on any sort of elevated platform. When the person playing the character spoke with a male-presenting voice, the father was displeased at the strange representation of a traditionally female character and asked to speak to the manager. The father detailed, "I told my waiter that I had a problem with something. He then asked what was the issue, and I simply stated, I have a problem with the Evil Queen being a man dressed in drag. The waiter immediately said he was going to get a manager, and he looked panicked.
Folks, this is exclusive again. You're not hearing this anywhere else. This is exclusive, and this is incredible. Continue on, Jonas.
At first, I said I wanted to formally complain about the evil queen being a man and that I felt very disrespected by Disney because this is not the sort of thing my family values, and they didn't give us any type of notice that this sort of thing was even a possibility. After that, my wife then signaled for me to stand up and take a step from the table so that our kids didn't have to overhear the conversation. So I stood up and continued my chat with the manager, which lasted about 1 to 2 minutes, maybe, felt like an hour. I stated we are a conservative Christian family. I'm spending $8,000 on this current trip, in addition to the tens of thousands I've spent together in the past at Walt Disney World and Disney Cruises, and that this is not right. For the most part, the manager just listened and never once apologized for anything. At one point, the manager stated, I can assure you that she is a woman. She went even further, trying to shame me, informing me that she was so excited to get the part as the evil queen. For a brief moment, I thought, oh, maybe I'm wrong. But then I realized that I was just being gaslighted. I politely told the manager, I know what you are doing and that I do not appreciate the fact that you are trying to be funny and disingenuous. So since the manager doubled down, I also doubled down and asked, is the evil queen a biological male? The manager's reply was, I'm sorry, sir, I cannot answer that.
It's funny that the manager said sir because they're trained to say friend. So I just imagine nonstop, hello, friend. How can I help you, friend? Friend, were you bothered by our evil queen, who is a great friend to all, even though the friend is evil? But yeah, this is
friend. Don't you know how to use the 3 seashells?
Ooh,
that's what that sounds like, right? In that movie, it was all friend this and friend that.
But let's say this too. So there is actually more to this story that we did not put into the article. And the reason that it's not in the article is because it could be identifying, and it also gets into some territory that we just cannot fully corroborate. But according to the source, we'll put this out as rumor, according to this family, the manager was not the only person who came to the table. Is that right, Jonas?
That's correct. There was an additional person, which I'm not sure if I'm allowed to use the adjective that you're going for, Pro. I'll allow you to describe this person if you would like.
Well, we're gonna be exceedingly safe and just say
Mexican?
that there was no, Mike. Well, maybe their waiter apparently was had a Hispanic name. I mean, we have the name, we have the time, we have the check, we have everything to know that this is real. But there was a second person who came with the manager, and that second person, according to the family, it was their recollection that person presented as being someone of a non-cis nature. Is that
I think that's about as close as we can get without getting ourselves into. I don't want to use a specific adjective.
Yeah, I don't like it either.
Okay, sorry.
Yeah.
But the reason the family conjectured that the reason that second person came was because this might have been a planned thing where if that was the complaint, you're going to have to complain about it to a person who identifies in a similar way. So you're going to have a real awkward time. That's why maybe it wasn't just the manager.
Okay, because that sounds like an intimidation tactic to me.
Yeah.
Wait, what?
Sure.
Lorena, you're going to have to explain it to Mike. I think Mike's a little lost on what we're talking about. Help him out, Lorena.
Oh, you don't understand. This is totally an intimidation tactic. You know, the guest asked for clarification, and it seemed like the manager just fell back on, enforcing DEI. I can't tell you, what gender or gender that this person is.
Okay, so I get it. So I complained about a weirdo, and they sent me another weirdo.
Yeah. It's like when the mafia comes, when the collector comes to collect the money you owe the mafia, and he's got the enforcer behind him, to reinforce that you need to comply. That's what this is. That's
the difference.
Going on
the
here.
difference being in this mafia, they do not say, "And I hope your child is a masculine child."
Should I continue, Pro?
Luca,
please
take it away.
Here we are. Well, of course, and this is some of the detail we've already talked about. That Park Place is fully aware that that actors of any sex often play roles of characters they do not correlate to. at Walt Disney Parks and Resorts. The stage performance of Maleficent, for instance, that one is often played by a man because the gear for the phantasmic pyrotechnical effects and all that is too heavy for a female performer most often, presumably due to physical constraints. Obviously, it does not matter who is inside one of those huge character heads. Mickey Mouse, because of height, is generally played by a woman. The difference about this experience is that a rather tall person appearing to be a biological male and sounding biologically male is playing a female queen in a way that might not be authentic to the character's traditional depiction. This represents a break in traditional Disney Parks protocols for who can be in various roles at their theme parks and experiences. For instance, there is no publicly known instance of a biological male playing Alice from Alice in Wonderland or Mary Poppins while interacting with guests. While researching this article, it was discovered that this actor appeared to play this role often for at least several months.
And Jonas, you'll go ahead and play that video again for the audience.
You are my favorite evil queen. Oh my God.
I'm also my favorite. We have so much fun.
Oh, hell no. Hell to the N-O. Okay, it's bad enough that femininity is being demonized by this company. But you mean to tell me after I spend, let's see, probably for a family of 4 at this meal, like what are we talking to? Probably about $400 by the time you do the tips and possibly alcoholic drinks, as I like to do. And you're gonna give me an
$333.29, Lorraine, is how much was spent.
Oh man, that's probably before
plus
taxes.
a park admission for everybody.
Right,
yeah, park
This was part of an
admission.
experience on property.
On property. Took over a restaurant that used to be an upscale restaurant, Artist Point, and then they made it a character meal. But you mean to tell me after all of that money, and you do not give me the evil queen, you give me the ugly stepsister, which was done way better in Shrek 2, as a matter of fact, and expect you to be
that wouldn't be
okay
allowed
with
anymore,
that?
would it, Lorena? You couldn't do Shrek 2 again.
And by the way, of all the restaurants they could have done this at, I understand Artist Point is now a character dining experience. But in the woods, I mean, do they have banjo music to accompany this guy?
No.
By the river?
No.
Good to see you there, Mike.
Jonas, play the clip one more time. Mike has transformed, so we had to bring him up on camera.
You're my favorite evil queen. Oh my God.
I'm also my favorite. We have so much fun.
All right. Well, and by the way, that clip, if you want to see the entire context here, Storybook Dining at Artist Point, this is a YouTube video that we scoured many YouTube videos to try to find any instances of this performer appearing at the parks. And I've found quite a few, by the way. There they are. According to the family that reached out to that park place, they spent over $300 on their meal and felt they were not treated appropriately. While we cannot verify that the individual playing the role is in fact a biological male, in the same way that we can't verify the biological sex of the Bibbidi Bobbidi Boutique cast member from last year, in our research it appears that this actor has been in the rotation of cast members playing the role of Snow White's evil queen for several months. I'll also add the comment, it's very clear who is female and who might not be when you look at the footage of the other performers. This raises the question if Disney will clarify the current rules for cast members wishing to play roles that would have traditionally been unavailable due to immutable characteristics of the cast member. For example, would Disney approve of this same cast member using makeup techniques to play Tiana from The Princess and the Frog? Some guests might find this equally, if not more offensive, but would appear consistent with the practice.
To say, why can that person not play Tiana? What are the rules? Let's just be transparent, and then people can make their own decisions about what they want to support and whether or not they want to go to Disney parks. Just
it's
be
the
transparent.
Same thing as the Hollywood stuff about you have to be Asian to play an Asian, or you have to be whatever to play a whatever. That's okay, but confused is the word we're looking for here, because we're being nice.
That's very true. We are all very restrained so far on this. Since the launch of Disney Plus, many
all we
have
ask
noted
is
an
consistency
increase in advocacy by the Walt Disney Company for drag queens in content targeted at minors. I'm not quite sure, but I think this is the one where Kermit the Frog is in it. If not, there's a second one that centers
it's not
on
easy.
How dare you? How dare you identify him as a frog? He's a newt. He's a newt, damn it.
Yeah, you wait a minute. I lost my tail fair and square.
Yeah. From here, we kind of talk about the situation in general, and I'll say this. I'll read this part in closing. While that Park Place recognizes the strong difference in opinions that exist on this issue, this website wants families to have the best information they can obtain beforehand so they can be aware of the content of character. The content of character, emphasis on those 3 words, interactions they could have. It may not be a question of intolerance, wokeness, or anything else, just an issue that can be resolved through transparency by Disney. As Walt Disney Company CEO Bob Iger has stated to investors, he would like to quiet the noise on the culture war. While some view this as Disney pulling away from controversial issues, it appears that Bob Iger was only referring to literally turning the volume down so that parents couldn't hear what their children were watching.
Well said, well said. Folks, we've come to the end. We hope we danced well with you today, telling you the truth, while at the same time considering others and being considerate of all. It is our job, after all, and we believe in doing what's right as best as we possibly can. Folks, one thing you can help us out with, consider clicking the like button, share, subscribe, click it, stick it to the algorithms, it's the notification bell, and drop a comment right on down below. Don't forget to tell us your thoughts on the situation, but as always, we implore you to be kind and respectful to everyone. It's important because we are all, of course, God's babies. Folks, wherever you are and whatever you're doing, keep learning, keep growing, and keep having fun.